Hello everybody, Ninjas here and welcome back to Wistoria episode 9, in which... Actually kinda hard to tell what's gonna happen. Probably we're gonna see the beginning of the... Yeah! Actually not that hard to see what's gonna happen. We're gonna see the beginning of the dungeon raid, or whatever it's called, right? Where teams of students raid the dungeon, because that's where the previous episode ended. Right, forming their group and whatnot. So yeah, that's probably what we're gonna see. First of all, sorry for this episode being late, but I couldn't record it earlier because there was a whole fucking parade of fire engines apparently driving right by my windows every now and then for some godforsaken reason. My building didn't burn down though, so that probably wasn't it, or maybe that wasn't it precisely because of the fire engines. I don't know, haven't been downstairs yet. So yeah, couldn't really record with the sirens blaring every now and then. But it's here, and that's what matters, right? What happened in the previous episode, exactly? Well, in the previous episode, first and foremost, most importantly, we met, I think her name was Rose, and that is Colette's roommate, who is a tan tomboy with massive fangs, so perfect character design. That was the most important bit of that episode, of course. Then we had the date. Weird sort of a double date, kinda, sorta, where Will was going out with Colette, but Rosti was there as well, and he kinda sorta stole Will from Colette. And we learned Rosti's surname, which is No Man, which led to some speculation, and I really like the theories that came out of it, and I think there's truth to them. Rosti, No Man, Frosty, Snowman. Well, what is a frosty snowman? A snowman might be one of the ice golem things that Julius, for example, was able to control. That, no doubt, Elfie would be able to control as well. What is also known about Elfie, she always has her eyes closed. Why? Well, perhaps so she doesn't experience double vision, as she sees through her own eyes and through the eyes of Frosty fucking Snowman. Right? It really feels like Rosti. Why is Rosti an artificer instead of a mage? Well, if Elfie as Rosti was to show her magic, it would be immediately apparent that she's a powerful ice mage. How to mask that magic? Well, simple. Don't use it. Just make tools. Why is Rosti so jealous of Will and so overprotective of him? Well, because it's fucking Elfie, his childhood friend. So of course she wouldn't like him going out with Colette. Right? I think that's it. I think we've cracked the motherfucking code. Frosty the motherfucking Snowman, named Rosti No Man, is just simply Elfie's golem that she uses to spend time with Will without having to step down her tower. That's absolutely it. We'll see where that leads, though. It's gonna be interesting to see maybe like Rosti getting hit, getting harmed during the process, during combat, and oh well, you don't bleed. It's just snow. What gives? What's going on there, right? Or Rosti gets smacked by a monster and just puffs into a puff of snowflakes, right? What the fuck's going on there? It would be interesting to see that. So we'll see where that whole entire thing goes. While Colette and Rosti were busy just growling at each other, fighting for Will. Will was meanwhile approached by Liana Ovenzaus, who invited him to some place where besides her there was also Wignall, who who else? Julius, of course, and Sion. Right? Right, only them. And she proposed those, including myself, are the most powerful elemental mages of our school. You are also really fucking strong, so let's join forces. Let's go for this dungeon raid thing together, and we are sure to win. Right? We are sure to reach as deep into the dungeon as possible. Everybody agreed, more or less reluctantly. More reluctantly, of course, Sion and Julius. Less reluctantly, of course, Wignall and Liana. And that's what they did. They formed a team, and in the end, Colette also decided to join them, because wherever Will goes, she also goes. And also, she is the lacking element of Earth, right? They had all the elements except the element of Earth. Here's Colette, the best Earth mage at school, also joining them, so now they have the best mages of all the magic schools, including the magic school of Fist. So that's gonna make the dungeon a breeze, or so I would like to say, except we've seen a very weird character appear at the end. A weird, shadowy, dark, cloaked figure who was talking about what exactly? About merchandise of some sort, making it out of the or into the academy or out of the academy, which makes it apparent that he's talking probably about drugs or some other illegal or illicit things that he's smuggling. He also captured a poor man, and that man did not end well. He ended as this guy's puppet, I think. I think that's what it was. And there was also some like purpley black magic kind of thing, which leads me to believe it's some sort of a forgotten school of magic or forbidden school of magic. Dark magic, necromancy, death magic, evil magic, take your pick, chaos magic, I don't know, something along those lines. And we're probably gonna meet that guy. He's probably gonna put up a decent fight, but ultimately Will Ex Machina will just cut him down without much of a problem. That's my assumption, at least. We're gonna, of course, see what exactly is gonna happen, but I really don't predict any of our characters in this group dying. I really don't think that Wignall or Liana or Julius or Sion or Colette or Will, certainly not Will, would succumb to some just, random death mage, right? Probably not. Probably not. But with that, we got a staple of a Magic Academy show, being the Magic Academy is involved in some shady business by some shady organization. Cool. I was wondering when's that coming. And here we have it. That's where we ended the episode. Rosti, meanwhile, is joining the group of other artificers. They have like their own path or something. And also on every floor there's going to be a camp, and in that camp there's going to be one member of faculty in case somebody wants to stop the descent earlier and just get teleported up or whatever. They can do that. So I think that covers it. And how about we just watch this episode and see what exactly happens? Right, I'm assuming in today's episode we're gonna cover like 2 floors, maybe. How many episodes is this show again? 12. This is 9, 10, 11. Yeah, we have time. So I would say 2 episodes in 2 floors in this episode, 2 floors in the next one. Big fight with the big bad guy in episode 11, and a little bit at the beginning of episode 12. Episode 12, win against the bad guy, arrival at the bottom, win for the team, hip hip hooray, announcement of season 2. Right, that will be dope. We'll see what's gonna happen, of course, as I said, and to do that, you're gonna need your subs to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show, and I'm gonna have to ask you for support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word, it costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And with that, we can start watching episode 9 of Wistoria in 3, 2, 1, go. Carriot and Logwell. Whomst. Oh, the like... Oh, Carriot, right. The fire... Yep. Light Sovereign. Oh! Well, that's no bueno. That's very no bueno. Speed buff? Speed buff. More like a launch, I guess. Just do a hero landing. Or get levitated, that also works. Monsters? Sure. Why do you think that they will approach melee range? Right, there was something about her being a knight, paladin, something like that, right? Yep. Sure enough, seems like she's using some sort of a... Yeah. Electric sword? I see that piece of an ass cheek. And the classic 2 middle fingers connected. Opening. I was hoping we're gonna get the opening because I need to clean my glasses. It would be awkward having to clean them without an opening to do that. I don't think we've seen in the opening any like sign of that shady guy from the dungeon, have we? Those are certainly scenes from the dungeon, yeah. But no necromancer dude. Unless they are fighting him right now. Okay, there's that, like, blood spin, which is, like, blood magic, dark magic, necromancy adjacent, I guess. Episode 9, Praxis begins. Have you always gotten the title card? I'm actually not sure. Healing. Detection. Yep. Yeah, it makes sense. If you can avoid enemies, right? Avoid them. If you can detect a trap, well, you're not gonna fall into it. Yeah, that's where search would have been useful. Yep. It's not a, sensing it, it's magicking it, basically. And he got a whole entire swarm, so... Yes, that's how mages work. They are good at AoE you know, distance magic. While, yeah, exactly. While will be indispensable when facing, like, you know, single 1v1 big monster. Yeah. What are you doing? What are those? Oh, is that how they regain mana? Okay, record of their kills. Gotcha. Fair, yeah. You're at, like, what? Highest floor, second highest? True. Right, that's gonna be an issue. He does have to stay around and cut out that tongue or claw or whatever for proof. Yeah, not much chance for you to help, is there? Cream of the crop, after all. Which floor you're on? I'm guessing Colette can magic a nice hut into existence. That's illusion magic, isn't it? Yep. Not an actual flame. Okay. Makes sense, actually. I still think it would have been better for Colette to create, like, a, you know, wall of stone. Why? Ah. Interesting. Yeah, sure. You might be in the same party, but he's racist, and that kind of, you know, takes precedence. Yeah, fair. And I assume we don't know all that much about them. Oh, the queen? Why are you boiling rocks? Naberus? That looks like a Cerberus. Okay, we got a goal then. You're probably gonna need a tank. Yep. Good point, actually. Like, sure, 110 points is a lot, but you could just defeat 11 monsters worth 10 points each and get the same amount. Okay, we are back to our necromancer guy. Headless. Oh, so that's not his minion. That's a person? Sapient monster? Demon? Deity? Huh. I'm assuming Headless did it. Floor 10. Isn't that the lowest? Looking for clues. Yeah. Oh, not even like cleaved into, just ripped apart. I don't suppose it was the Nadberus. Flashlight spell, that's nice. Very like HR Gigaresque area, isn't it? Yeah, that's Nadberus dead. Headless? Okay. That being Ghost, Wraith. That is a something. I don't know what it is, but it seems strong. A dragon humanoid kind of thing? Well, there goes the elf. Yeah, you're not gonna be even given a chance to cast that magic. It looks like a dragon, but wingless. With like arms, long arms instead of wings. Floor 11? Are we going deeper than what the dungeon is presumed to be? That's where... Oh, that's a cool area. That is Gigaresque. That's where Headless and the other guy are. Isn't it? Broken at least, yeah. This area looks alive. Or at least... whatchamacallit? Not biological, but like meaty. Looks like meat and veins. Nightmares more. Okay, so you are aware of the existence of deeper levels. Okay, we're separating the party. Mm-hmm. The Great Barrier. And Green Seed Wand, and more about Wignall. Flashback? Was Wignall himself a reject from the Elven Society? Yeah, rejected by the Queen herself. Eleanor? Childhood friend, perchance? a nightmare because he got struck in the arm, or is the arm actually like artificial? He kind of already did, so it's a foregone conclusion. Yeah. Okay, please do. You're not doing that well, my dude. Magic scroll, a hook with bombs, and a dagger. Yeah, probably a good call. I don't think rescue is coming, my dude. It's floor 11. I don't think anybody even suspects that you're there. Yeah. It will take time to defeat it. Even for faculty members. Dead? Oh, crucified and beheaded. Though that was the headless. Safe assumption. I like her design. All very good questions. Hello, Rusty. You're no doubt gonna try to find Will. Oh, I thought Kiki got separated as well, but no. Stays with Will, thankfully. It could reveal your location. Or that, sure. Makes sense. Need I remind you, your search magic did not detect that thing. So... Okay, so no need to spam it this often. Yep. Yeah, makes perfect sense, actually. He kinda has to if he wants to survive, even on the higher floors. Yeah, he's the native of this dungeon, essentially. Yep. Oh, monsters? Something or someone? Something. Orcs, I assume. Since they're like pigmen. Gargesa, of course. How could I not have known that? Okay, that knocked him back. Good job. Hopefully that was enough to kill it. Muscle magic. Yeah, that's also a thing. The more you know, the easier it is for you to face the things you know about, isn't it? They are blind. They have no eyes. They're like fucking moles or mole rats or whatever. That sword was not long enough to cleave this thing into. Just saying. Oh no, he's broken. Okay, maybe not. Right? He's also a reject. He's also a no talent by the elven standards, of course. That's why he's trying to put Will down to lift himself up a little. That was a very short episode. I need more. Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one. Holy shit. I don't always get sucked into an episode, you know? Like, very often, I'm gonna admit it here. Very often when I watch an episode of anime here on the channel, I kind of just have to watch it consciously, right? In a way, like I'm conscious of my surroundings, I'm conscious of the passing time, I'm conscious that I have to say something every now and then, right? In this episode, it's really not often. But in this episode in particular, I really just got sucked into it. I really did. I did not notice the passage of time. I did not even have to think about saying anything. I don't even know what I've said during the course of this episode, to be perfectly honest with you. It was just coming out naturally. That was a good one. Elf is on the prowl, eh? Oh, she's broken. Our dream. Alrighty, let's watch it again, shall we? Yes, we shall. Celebration of the old student praxis is being held, and Kariot is the fire Magyavander. I was initially confused who he is. I thought it's maybe like the unseen before leader of the Magyavander or something like that, but no. Lightning is self-indulgent, the elves are arrogant, ice is indolent. Sure, yeah. There's no one more suited than you, the Flame Emperor's wand, in Sindhya Barham. Right, so essentially you are safe from being replaced as a Magyavander. Light Sovereign. What's a Light Sovereign? Light magic? Some like ancient mage guy who oversees the Magyavander? I don't know. All when the barrier seems about to fall. Well, shit. Well, that's gonna be a problem, isn't it? Why do I get the feeling that the first season here is gonna be a bit of a misdirection? Like, the first season here is essentially just a Magic Academy show. That's basically what it is. It has some unique elements here and there, sure, but ultimately it's a Magic Academy show. Why do I get the feeling that the barrier breaks? Whoever are the members of whatever organization that the Headless and the other dude belong to maybe have a hand in the barrier failing, and just fucking hell spills onto Earth, and it turns into Doom, where Will is going around ripping and tearing until it is done. Why do I get the feeling that when the barrier fails, and that's a matter of when and not if, we're actually gonna start seeing some deaths. We're actually gonna lose some named characters. Right? Am I the only one who gets this vibe, especially after this episode? This episode that also introduced some very different aesthetic. Let me like scroll forward a fair bit, I guess. Right? Like, so far, even the higher floors are, you know, just a normal floor. There's some eyes, there's some like rocks and stone and like brown stone and white stone, right? And then we go deeper, and it's just white and full of like weird holes, and it's like a burnt forest. Ominous as fuck. Looks like something out of Scorn. Right? Looks like the surface of the planet in Scorn, doesn't it? And then we go even deeper, and it's just meat. It's veins, it's meat, it's mutated and twisted flesh. And it even has that weird like filter on it that makes it kind of like what's that filter called? Solarization, I think, at least in GIMP. I'm not sure about other software. Right? It really looks unsettling. The whole entire vibe just changed immediately as soon as we arrived here. Right? And this tells me that this is the future of the story. That from those, you know, brightly lit chambers and students wearing their, you know, student robes and whatnot, and everybody being Technicolor and fighting and being like, yeah, I'm getting points. It's gonna turn into, yeah, I survived, I lost an arm and 5 of my friends, but I'm alive at least, after which they get squished by a gigantic demon thing. Why do I get that feeling? I wonder. Right, because here it's still very, what's the word? Whimsical almost, right? Like wind magic to propel forward. Oh, haha, how fun. We're flying and we're getting levitated before we fall, and haha, Will falls on his face. Right? And it's like, you know, the mages have absolutely no issue fighting those groups of enemies. Will is feeling kinda useless. We even get nice bits of fan service here and there, right? It's fun. We're having fun. We're laughing, we're cheering for Will, right? And I get the distinct feeling that's gonna change. Search. Yep. That's how mages can detect all danger in the area, and they can react to that much faster than Will can detect them. Exactly. Right? Like, haha, funny moment. His burden at the moment, probably. He's gonna be strong and useful, probably. Right? Funny face. It's gonna change. It's absolutely gonna change. They're sucking up the essence of the monsters into their wands. I wonder if Will might have been able to get like a magic tool maybe to do the same thing. Right? Like maybe a pendant with a gem like that, or embedded in his sword or something. Seems like something that would be doable. seeing how Rosti or other artificers as well presumably can embed magic within magical tools, he could essentially have a magic recorder that works with just batteries, right? I think that should be a thing. No point holding drops of hardly any value. True. True you are, except for Will they have the value of points. He needs those drops to prove that he defeated the monsters that he did. Yeah, not much for him to do. Flame Fortress. I like this bit of foreshadowing, right? He can summon a just instant illusion of flames. Probably works at like no mana cost because it's like the built-in magic of elves. But they're illusory. Monsters are wary of the sight of flames. That's the key word here. That's the foreshadowing. Elves come from a different world, yeah, and she is the queen. I'm gonna note it that she is probably Wignall's... Who exactly? Friend? Family? I don't know. What's her name now? Where is she on my list of characters? Eleanor. And Eleanor Lyos Alf. Eleanor is Wignall's childhood friend or family, right? Wignall referred to her by her given name, not like Lady Eleanor or anything like that, just Eleanor. I don't know. Something like that. At the same time, even back then, Wignall was a child, and Eleanor was already an adult, so there's a little bit too big of an age difference for them to be childhood friends. I don't know. Luminous Naberus, 110 credits, and probably will put you in the sights of Magia Vander. Sure. Safe to assume. This is not floor 11 either. I'm assuming that's even deeper, isn't it? Floor 11 is very fleshy. This is very not fleshy. It's like calcified flesh almost, and purple instead of pink. Oh, this dungeon is hiding some big secret. Oh, it absolutely is. Dungeon is hiding a huge secret, and dungeon reaches floor 100. Complete speculation. But it's kind of been mentioned already that... who said it? Someone said it, though, that the mages of this age are, like, weaker, right? There was something like that, I believe. And one of the characters... I wonder if it was Colette, maybe, had in their bio the deepest dungeon level reached as question mark or scratched out, like redacted, right? Which makes me think she might have reached level, like, I don't know, 15 or something, gotten stuck there, Will had to save her, that's why he knows how to behave on floor 11, that's why it doesn't face him that much, right? Will was below floor 10 already, or Colette was, or both of them. Headless. First time we see this kind of monster. I thought initially that it's this guy with the face mask who created a puppet, essentially, right? Like, ripped off the head of somebody and just got to control the body as a puppet. But no. No, it's a distinct being. Who can communicate with writing in the air with this weird, unseen before, purple, dark magic thing. At the same time, the hooded figure is a human. That's a human face. Could be an elf, could be a drow, could be a fucking nymph or whatever, but in general, like, you know, human adjacent. I wonder if they are working for whatever is the force that's trying to break through the barrier. Or is it a completely unrelated party? We don't really know their, like, goal or anything about them. We don't know what they want. We don't know what they're working towards. I wonder. Very cool environment. Empty, barren, ashen, completely fucking calcified. The deeper they go, the stranger and more otherworldly and scarier the dungeon becomes. Skipping the base camps, that was perhaps a mistake. If I were doing the praxis thing, I would require every team to check in at every single camp. If you skip a camp, it doesn't count. Right? You could reach floor fucking 200. Doesn't count if you skipped the base camp on level 2. Right? Make them check in so that at least we know who is at which floor. That's a very important information, because that's when you can do a roll call. Right? And that's when you know when someone is in danger. If someone made it past floor 3 but didn't make it to floor 4, you can probably safely assume that, sure, they might be in danger because they are not strong enough to reach floor 4, but at the same time they're not in that much danger because monsters on floor 3 are not, you know, that particularly strong. So sending just a, I don't know, third-year student to rescue them is just going to be enough. The faculty doesn't even need to get involved. Meanwhile, if someone gets lost between floor 9 and 10, that's when you send a search party with faculty members, because they're gonna get in trouble, right? So, kind of badly organized, isn't it? Reminds me kind of the... what was the name of it? Seven Spellblades, where the school had just completely lackadaisical approach to student safety, but at the same time, mages in Seven Spellblades are incredibly hardy and incredibly hard to kill. So, yeah, ripped apart. That does not bode well, does it? Cerberus is dead. Mages use hide, and there's a type of monster. Very weird ass looking, like, wingless dragon humanoid thing with piano teeth. Yeah, there goes Wignall. I thought for a moment when they started casting, everybody started casting their own spell, I thought we were gonna have a moment of communicate. People, communicate, because Julius casts Ice Spell, Sion casts Fire Spell, and they cancel each other, right? Colette casts Rock Spell, Yana casts Thunder Spell, they cancel each other, nothing hits ultimately, right? And it's gonna be a lesson in teamwork. Little did I know that shit's gonna go so much worse. We've fallen into the Flesh Pit National Park. Outside Academy territory. Huh. 11 downward are Tower territory. Oh, okay, okay, I get it. So people in general are aware that the dungeon has more than 10 floors. I thought all this time that the dungeon has 10 floors, that's what everybody knows. Only Liana somehow knows that there are more floors. And the floors below 11, we don't know until when, we don't know how deep the dungeon is exactly, are where Magia Vander, for example, goes for their ingredients or whatever, right? Gotcha. Gotcha. Complexity, strength of monsters, yep. We're gonna have to work together. Very interesting pairings, right? Rock and electricity, which kind of cancel each other. Ice and fire, which again cancel each other. Muscle and wind. Muscle and illusion plus wind, which kind of also are like in opposition, right? Like will is very physical, very existent, right? Very extant. Meanwhile, Wignall is all illusion that doesn't really exist, or just a gust of wind, or right, this kind of magic. So I guess they are kinda a little bit like counterparts in this way. Gotta reunite. Yeah, probably a good idea. The Great Barrier, if it goes, we're all goners. That's how important it is. The words of a certain dwarf. I mean, yeah, probably safe to assume that if the barrier goes, you're gonna be fucked. Wignall, elf, 75, human years, 15, 176 centimeters, first of Artshelmun. Likes the collection of elven legends he used to read together with his milk siblings, the herbal tea from the elite tea house Liana introduced him to. Knight. Dislikes dwarves in general, wants to protect Eleanor Leos Alf, one of his milk siblings, I would assume. 11th floor. I mean, I guess technically he did reach 11th floor, didn't he? Right now. Equipment, green seed wand, spells primarily focused on wind, illusion, magic. An elf who hails from Alfswood, far to the north, came to the capital of magic, Urbus Rigarden, to study. He holds fast to elven customs and does not allow anyone he does not deem worthy to touch him. Shares the same dream as a certain no talent. Will. You can't even manage illusions with any real skill. I'm assuming the firewall is the only illusion that he can cast, or one of the very few that he can. You're a disgrace to our people, I have no need of you. The talentless arm. I'm assuming this is not a memory, but rather a bad dream, essentially, right? So it's still entirely plausible that they are siblings or childhood friends or something like that, right? Because he didn't lose an arm, his arm was hurt, yeah, and that's why he got that in the dream, right? Like, when you're asleep and you really need to go to the toilet and you dream of being in a toilet and you wet your bed, for example, right? This kind of thing. He did that alone? Yes, indeed he did. I guess that was not enough to gain his to gain trust and worthiness. Rosti's magic hook. I assume that's a magic spell. I don't know. A dagger. Very fleshy rocks. I thought I'm just gonna point that out. Just, again, very fleshy rocks. The planet is alive. Might be a bit of a crack theory, but the planet is alive. We went through the like dry layer of the top layer of skin, which is like dead cells that we must like exfoliate. And now we're in the flesh area. We go deeper, we reach the organs, and eventually the heart of the planet. Maybe that's going a little too far, but I like this idea. 24 hours. Yeah, we gotta meet the others. And yeah, rescue would take a while because the rescue party would have to go through this, and that's not gonna be easy. I like Eliza's design, gotta say. Destroy the base camp. How did you know they have been killed in this particular way? Did this happen on floor 8? No, they were like Headless One was ripping their heads off way lower than that, I think. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they were different people. Something twisted their heads off, yeah. And yeah, 9 and below is probably gonna be a motherfucking pandemonium, isn't it? Cool. I like Eddie Boy. I really like Eddie Boy. He sees shit's hitting the fan and he goes, right? He puts aside any, like, you know, dislike he might have for Werkner. He puts aside any, like, preferences and whatnot. He's not this sort of sly thing that would be hiding or working with the attacker or anything like that. No. No, students are in danger. We gotta go save them. I'm fucking going. I might be Severus motherfucking Snape under a different name, but I'm better man than him. Will, you have your mother's eyes. That would be amazing if Eddie Boy had this line, if he actually knew Will's parents. Please, it would be so fucking fun if that was a thing. And Rosti coming in clutch, perhaps, I wonder? And yeah, let's not use search that often. No need to spam it, it just says, you know, limited area. And of course, Will knows a lot, and that knowledge allows him to do what he does, right? He knows that Gergesas are blind. He knows how to attack them, right? He knows that they have an apt sense of smell, but because they lack eyesight, they are not the greatest at judging distance, perhaps, and he can use that to his benefit. Wignall doesn't know that, and so he decides to use illusion, which doesn't work because they're fucking blind, right? He's turned the knowledge into wisdom and the unknown into the known. I like it. I really do like this line, and I really do like this like sentiment thing, kinda, right? He turned knowledge into wisdom and the unknown into the known. Instead of just blindly rushing into battle, he's there like, oh, yes, the seven-headed cockatrice, according to this scroll, has this, and that weakness. I should probably use the serrated sword if I am ever to fight seven-headed cockatrice. Okay, that's committed to memory, right? I like it. I really do. I like me a character who comes prepared for a fight. What can I say? One of my favorite... Not the same thing, right? But I really liked playing Two Worlds 1 in particular. Two Worlds 2 was generally a better game, but Two Worlds 1 had a very cool system of alchemy, where you were able to mix various different things, ingredients, and every ingredient would have a certain effect. And I would mix a potion that would have like 20 different effects, and then I would down it before a fight to, you know, prepare myself. And I see that I'm about to fight like fire elementals, so I'm gonna pick the potion that has 20 effects, yes, but the biggest of them all is fire resistance, stuff like that. Always enjoyed that about The Witcher, using specific signs, specific bombs, specific potions to fight every element. Like, no doubt, The Witcher 3 could absolutely be just Bum Rushed, Unga Bunga Silver Sword, and Thunderbolt, yeah. But for the immersion, I liked getting like Black Blood, for example, before fighting a vampire. So cool, good shit. As I said, I like me a character who comes prepared. Yeah, illusion's not gonna work. I'm not talented. I'm one of the dregs, a laggard, just like yourself. That's why I'm trying to put you down to lift myself up in the process. Basically. Episode 10, Our Dream. Our dream of survival at this point. Unless our dream, our as in Will and Wignall. Will wants to join Elfie, Wignall wants to join Eleanor. Abso-fucking-lutely. Hell yeah. Will wants to join Elfie like Wignall wants to join Eleanor. Yep. That's gonna be the thing that they have in common, and they find mutual understanding over that. Will finds common things with other party members too. He finds something in common with Julius, something in common with Sion, something in common with Liana, right? Liana being from the family of knights, fighting in melee combat. Will also fights in melee combat, right? Already a string of connection. That's what we're going for here, aren't we? And when they become Magia Vander, they're gonna be like united. Instead of the Magia Vander of today, where Cariot is kinda on his own, Zio is kinda on his own, Eleanor is kinda on her own, and looking with disgust at the others because they're not elves, right? Right? I'm absolutely onto something here. Cool. Good shit. Oh, good shit. That was a great episode. I rarely have as much fun with any singular episode of anime as I did with this one. Good. Ripe for theorizing and speculation. Great character moments and character growth, even. Cool fight scenes that we didn't go over, but they were cool, and that's probably enough. Introduction of potentially a new villain, introduction to brand new secrets, and good. Yeah, I honestly think that's gonna be it from me. Just good shit. I just wonder who the people are from the like lower floors, the headless and the other guy, working for the forces from above the barrier. That would be my suspicion. Or a completely different third party where there's enemies above and enemies below. That would also be a thing, right? The earthen realm attacked by the angels and by the demons, so to speak. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. Wouldn't surprise me if by the end of this season the barrier fell. That would be cool. But then it would suck if they never came to make a second season. They must make a second season. Second season, please, I beg of you. Second season. Supposedly there's not enough material for a second season yet, but whenever there is enough material, please. Yeah, I think that's gonna be it. Honestly, really, I think I said everything I needed to say, and I think my enthusiasm is enough for an opinion about this episode. Good shit. But you guys, you tell me, what did you think of this episode? My reaction, my theories, stuff like that. Did you like it as much as I did? Tell me all about it in the comments down below. No spoilers, please. Spoilers can go to my Discord if you really must. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to be notified of future videos, not just Wistoria, but also Bye Bye Earth, Spice and Wolf, Isekai Shikaku, QA Isekai, plenty others coming in the future. Click the bell to be notified of those videos and of when I go live, because I do sometimes. Support the channel if you want to monetarily on Patreon down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. You can also support me directly on YouTube through memberships, super thanks, super chats, and if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you don't have to share my content, spread the word. It costs you absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my wonderful Patreons: QB, Without an Edzer, Rene, Sam Greenwood, Yuki Eli, Dr. Wataka Monster, Marsh, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want without having to go to Flora.